The 49ers have such a good roster, the 11th best player on it probably would rank top 5 on most teams. No exaggeration. The Niners have at least 11 Pro Bowl caliber players heading into 2020, maybe more. Let's rank the 49ers top 10 players from 10 to 1. Today in part 1, we'll rank numbers 10 to 6. And in part 2, we'll rank numbers 5 to 1. Last season, Ford recorded 6.5 sacks despite playing just 22% of the 49ers' defensive snaps. He was incredibly efficient and effective when he was on the field. His speed and quickness off the edge complemented the 49ers' power rushers perfectly. But Ford wasn't on the field much. In 2018, on the Chiefs, he played 87% of the defensive snaps. But now he has an arthritic knee. So on the 49ers, he has become a part-time player who comes off the bench, meaning he probably won't play more than 500 defensive snaps in a season ever again during his career. So even though he brings value to the 49ers, he doesn't play enough to crack their top 10. Samuel struggled early last season, as most rookie wide receivers do when they play for Kyle Shanahan. Samuel dropped passes and didn't contribute much. He was still learning the offense and thinking on the field rather than reacting. But something clicked for him the final 11 weeks of the season, including the playoffs. In those games, Samuel became an offensive weapon, not just a wide receiver. He also played some running back. And he averaged a whopping 84.2 yards from scrimmage per game during that stretch. If Samuel continues to average 84 yards from scrimmage per game in 2020, he'll gain 1,347 all-purpose yards. That's George Kittle territory. Samuel could climb this list in a hurry. Technically, Garoppolo is the second most accurate quarterback of all time. He hasn't started enough games to officially qualify for the all-time list, but his career completion percentage, 67.5, ranks only slightly below the all-time leader, Drew Brees, whose career completion percentage is 67.6. Garoppolo has an extremely quick release, like Brees. They both specialize at throwing short and medium-length passes. But Garoppolo still lacks experience. About once every game, he makes a decision that makes you scratch your head. He just commits too many turnovers for a quarterback who hands off so much. He still has room to improve. Sherman still is the best zone coverage cornerback in the NFL, and the 49ers mostly play zone. So most of the time, he's one of their most important players. When the 49ers play zone coverage, opposing quarterbacks rarely throw at Sherman because he reads the offense's plays so well. He knows what's coming. When the 49ers play man-to-man coverage, quarterbacks target Sherman more frequently and he sometimes gives up long catches. He gave up 2 long ones in the playoffs. So he's not perfect, but he's still one of the 49ers' best players. Armstead was a monster in every way last season. He recorded 10 sacks, tops on the 49ers, and routinely made second and third effort plays, meaning he didn't just give up after his initial pass rush move. He strung together multiple moves and played as hard as anyone. Armstead wanted a fat new contract, and he got it. Now he needs to show he will continue to play hard even after his big payday. Needs to show he wasn't a one-year wonder who benefited from the double teams DeForest Buckner drew. Opposing offenses will pay Armstead much more attention in 2020 than they did in 2019, and he knows it. He still has the tools to be a dominant player, but his numbers might drop next season even if he plays as hard as he can. Warner arguably is the best young linebacker in the NFL, and he still can't crack the 49ers' top 5. What a team. Warner entered the NFL in 2018 as a skinny guy who played outside linebacker at BYU. When he tackled NFL players his rookie season, they often knocked him back and took him for a ride. But Warner transformed his body in 2019, became much stronger, recorded 118 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, and 3 sacks, and became one of the leaders on the 49ers defense. Now he's the leader because the 49ers traded DeForest Buckner to the Colts. And Warner will be a fantastic leader for the 49ers for the next 10 years. Unless they trade him. Just kidding. Mostly.